So where is this going? Let's get the read from Jim Clyburn, of course, the House Majority Whip, South Carolina Congressman. Congressman, very good to have you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
So where are we on this wealth tax or whatever they're calling it? Are you for that, Congressman?
I am for a wealth tax, and I think there's a big difference in the so-called wealth tax and all of this thing about a billionaire tax. How many billionaires do we have in the country? Well, I've done the numbers. You don't get anywhere near the money we need to raise in order for everybody to participate in the Build Back Better efforts. And so the wealth tax is something that I support. I think that all of us are aware that the wealthy, the uber wealthy at least, have not really done all that they could to help the country move forward. And I've not been able to understand this. It seems to me that we ought to want to have good health for everybody. And you can't have good health if you can't afford health care and you can't afford to eat decent meals. These things are basic. And it seems to me that those of us who can afford ought to be doing our fair share. And that's not been happening. Everybody knows that's not been happening. And what we're trying to do here is make it happen.
All right, but this would only raise a fraction of the money that you normally would have had with the income tax rate hikes that were being considered. Are they off the table now? Are we just not going to see those income rate hikes?
Well, some things have been taken off the table, but not everything. I spent some time last night with the chair of the Ways and Means Committee, Richard Neal. He has assured me that he's put forth over $2 trillion effort that he thinks can do exactly what we need to do to cover the cost of this bill. You got to remember,
without
Neil,
income tax rate, but without income tax rate hikes, how is that possible?
Well, I didn't say without it. I'm saying this without the billionaire tax. He has spread it out in such a way that it is defined as taxing the wealthy, but it goes far beyond billionaires. There were about 750 or so billionaires in the country. They don't give us enough. We have to have a broader tax base than that.
All right, so the way things stood, Congressman, you were going to lift the top rate up to around 39.6%, higher capital gains rate, what have you. So are you saying that those are still on the table?
Well, I'm not in the room, so I don't know what's on the table. What I shared with you was a conversation I had last night with the chair of the Ways and Means Committee, and he's convinced me that he's put forth a plan that is fair, and if that plan were to be adopted, you will be able to pass these bills, get the economy moving again, and not leave anybody behind. Whether or not we accept this plan, I don't know, but he's convinced me that it's a good and fair plan.
What's to stop you, though, if you go after billionaires, or 750 or 1,000 of them, sir, and the idea is to go after their monies, or if they've made about $100 million 3 years running, to extending this, much as we did with the alternative minimum tax, something that now has ensnared fully a third of all U.S. taxpayers? Who's to say that isn't going to happen here? It starts with billionaires and the very rich. Eventually, it hits everybody.
Neil, the reason I'm smiling is because you know that's not what I said. You and I have been good buddies for a long time.
I know that's not what you said, but that is the fear how it starts. Not your view of this. I know that's not your goal, but that it could happen. And then the alternative tax is a good example of that. It did happen.
That's right. It could happen, but not under our watch. We Democrats are doing two things. We're trying to be fair with the tax code, and we're trying not to pass the bill for this onto our children and grandchildren. And that's the one I think that your listeners ought to be interested in. Whatever it is that we do, we're going to pay for it. We aren't going to do like the previous administration and do a $2 trillion tax break and pass it on to our children and grandchildren to pay for. We're going to do this for around $2 trillion. It's going to benefit everybody, and we're going to pay for it.
All right, finally, sir, it looks like Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema are succeeding in pushing for a lower price tag to this ultimately. In fact, Senator Manchin was asked outright if he has entertained switching parties or even going independent. He says no, and that in the worst case scenario, even if he did, he would caucus with Democrats. Do you welcome him into your party and staying in your party?
Yes, I do. We have two independents. Bernie Sanders is welcome to this party. He's an independent caucusing. Senator King is an independent, and they caucus with Democrats. So we do that all the time. So if that's the way he wished to be labeled and will still help us build back better, I welcome that.
Do you think he's a Democrat? Do you think Joe Manchin acts like a Democrat? Some of your colleagues, particularly the Progressive Caucus, say no.
Well, Joe Manchin is a Democrat. He's been a Democrat for a long time, and I take people at their word. Now, I don't always make all Democrats happy with positions I take, and so he's not going to always make me happy with the position that he takes. And so that's what makes us reflective of the country, is that we have a broad spectrum of philosophical thoughts, and we try to bring these together in order to make for a good result. You know, that's the way families operate. We don't always agree on everything, but we try not to be disagreeable, and we try to be unified, and that does not mean being unanimous.
Fair enough. I know what you're saying about families. Half the nasty emails I get are from people in my own family, Congressman. So it's seriously, it's very good seeing you.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Maybe you ought to join my family. We're good people. We take care of each other, and we aren't nasty to each other. We may be nasty in private, but not in public.
Oh, no, they'll go both ways. But Congressman, thank you very, very much. Be safe and well yourself.
Thank you.
Congressman Clyburn, following these fast-moving developments.